What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So, this smushed in Chevy Chase looking motherfucker right here, right, is the Attorney General of Texas. I think his name is Ken Paxton. And if he has his way, there's going to be a new law in Texas that will outlaw sodomy. Okay? Now, in reality, most sodomy laws have not really been enforced since the 1970s. They just haven't. Now, what is sodomy? Most states do not quite stipulate what they consider sodomy is, but usually it incorporates oral sex, anal sex, bestiality, which is having sex with animals, which shouldn't even be a fucking law. I mean, why do you have to have a law saying you're not supposed to fuck a fucking mule? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, whatever they consider a immoral or unnatural sex act, to me personally, these laws are aimed at homosexuals, okay? I seriously doubt that this hypocritical piece of shit is going to enforce this law against someone who is well off and white and getting a blowjob at home. This law is not going to be enforced toward people who are married, people who are in regular heterosexual relationships. This law right here, to me, is primarily aimed at homosexuals. I can't even say that this law is going to be aimed at people of, minorities. I can't even say that. I think this law is primarily aimed at homosexuals. He's a far-right Republican. I believe he's religious, from to readings I've had about this guy. And it's so funny that on the one end, these people talk about our rights, our gun rights, our inalienable rights to freedom, our rights. But when it comes to you trying to get off, they want to tell you, hey, you better not stick your dick in that woman's asshole. You put it in the proper hole that God created for it. That's that vagina. You better not stick your Johnson. Lady, you better not let him put his Johnson in your mouth. It's immoral. It's immoral. As I'm eating my fourth Whopper with cheese. It just kills me, man. You know what I'm saying? They tell you what to do, but what's immoral and what's improper. But, a lot of these fucking legislators, and I've seen some of these motherfuckers in jobs I worked, these motherfuckers look like human jelly molds and got nerve to tell you where you can go fuck people with hole and all of this. Just ridiculous bullshit. This is also something I've warned about. I've talked about how these things are cyclical. By that I mean, historically there are certain patterns that have been out there, and it's just, this is why I said it's premature to say that Joe Biden is not going to be reelected. 2 years is an eternity. I remember in 1994 when the Democrats lost the House and the Senate for the first time in 40 years. Now, there have been elections since 1954 where they may have lost the Senate by a small margin or something like that. But no, they got clobbered in 94 in the midterms, the Democrats. Bill Clinton's approval rating was in the 30s at that time. And it looked like he was going to be a lame duck, irrelevant, one-term president who may not even be renominated by his own party for re-election at that time. But what happened? Certain unforeseen events that benefited Bill Clinton. The first thing that happened was the government shutdown in early January of 95. What happened in that situation? Bill Clinton, being a masterful tactician and maneuverer, was able to maneuver through events that made it look like it was the Republicans who were at fault for the government shutdown, right? So that helped him. Then a tragic event, the Oklahoma City bombing in April of 95, that made him look presidential. He looked like a leader. He galvanized the country behind this tragedy. I'm sorry for all the yelling in the background. I'm sorry for all that bullshit. It's nothing serious going on, just gaming and shit. But anyway, you have that going on. And then over time, the economy started taking off. The economy goes bananas in 95 going to 96. The economy is rolling. And Bill Clinton's approval rating goes from in the 30s to the 40s to the 50s and in some polls in the 60s. Then he goes up against the well-meaning but inept Bob Dole, and he wins an electoral landslide in 1996. What I'm saying is, we don't know what's going to happen. The Republicans have a knack for blowing big leads. Think about this for a second. Ever since the 1990s, the only successful Republicans that we've had were George W. Bush and Trump. Both times Trump lost the popular vote. Bush was narrowly reelected despite the fact that that he had a lot of things going for him at the time. The country had not quite turned against the Iraqi war. He was going up against a weak opponent in John Kerry, and it still came down to Ohio. So what I'm saying is Republicans just have a knack for losing, man. They're the party that will let you get back into the game. What they're doing right now, they're not going to stop at abortion. They're probably going to go on after this to other shit. It's funny that Clarence Thomas is saying, well, we need to revisit same-sex marriage. They might revisit interracial marriage in some states. They're going to do shit to piss off enough of Biden's base. They're going to be like, whoa, wait a minute. They're going to forget all about some of the shit that's going on. By the way, there's already signs that gas prices are starting to level back off, right? And all it takes is the economy to come back. All it takes is for people to remember, if he gets renominated, why we don't like Donald Trump. Because absence makes the heart grow fonder. Heart grow fonder. We know that, right? So all it takes is for Donald Trump to come back. We remember why we don't like the motherfucker. And you'll never know. So anyway, my opinion about the whole situation, stay out of people's bedrooms. No matter what my opinion is on abortion, no matter what my opinion is on gay marriage or homosexuality, at the end of the day, it's not my fucking business what people do. Stay the fuck out of people's bedroom. Makes you look like a pervert. It makes you look like a creep, which he probably is. This guy's probably a fucking borderline or closet pervert. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I got to say about it, man. Tell me what you guys think.